Hey everybody, welcome to Life in Architecture. I'm Daniel again, your host with the most, and recording this video from beautiful Andalusia. It's a province in Spain, somewhere where I have a lot of roots that I just found out a couple years ago. You probably wouldn't know it, but I'm Mexican, and just so happens that from part of my family, great-grandparents, they were born in this area, and it was very apparent. We're winding down, me and the wife are winding down our vacation here, and it's very apparent. I feel very at home with the cuisine, with the culture. Very interesting mixture of Latin and Moorish culture, which happens to be Muslim. So I wanted to make this video about a couple of things, things that have been on my mind, and I've kind of wanted to unload as much as I can, and hopefully it's not like drinking water from a fire hydrant for people. So first things first, I just kind of wanted to stress how important it is to take vacations. I think every time I've taken a vacation, it's been one of the best investments ever. If I could think back in life when I felt stuck, when I felt completely uninspired or maybe depressed, just stuck in life, after taking a vacation, I've always come back pretty darn refreshed. So I know certain things that I'm going to talk about in the video are related to means, people with money, and people, unfortunately, that don't have too much money. And what I can say is, even as somewhat poor folks, and me and my wife, when we started out, 2012, 2013, we didn't have money at all to fly, for sure, not fly. And we would just take road trips and stuff, which I urge people to do. Give me 1 second, about to adjust. So I urge people to do that. Take advantage of just getting out, getting away from the routine. Very powerful, very powerful. As you can see, the backdrop here, beautiful coastal city. It's called Malaga. So here's the meat of the video. I wanted to talk about social justice, and I think it's very timely with things that are going on. Kyle Rittenhouse, many other things in the last couple years that have come to the fore, exposing the inequities, really, of minorities in the criminal justice system. Don't really want to get too much in the mud, but I do want to say, I feel like I don't have a home because I grew up liberal, as just because of my background, because of my mom. My mom was a Democrat, very staunch liberal. And with that, there was a lot of belief and a lot of thinking that, the government should take care of me. Very problematic. I think that's one of the, one of the challenges of the Democratic Party is to empower their people, empower their voting base to actually improve their lives, and motivate. I think it's very powerful what motivation, what passion can do to people. Anyway, grew up liberal, went to the military, was around nothing but conservatives, majority conservatives. Even the minorities in the military are conservative. A lot of them don't even know it. Very much this attitude about pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Don't worry about the government. Don't let the government, dictate, or step in to help you in any way. Which is very ironic because military healthcare is socialist healthcare, and it works. I still go to the VA actually, which is a socialized form of medicine. All this to say, I don't want to go over too much to people's heads here too much with the topics, but basically, I don't have a political home. But I will say that as a people, it's very apparent, even in the most, one of the most wealthy countries of the United States, that there are people that are really struggling. They're poor, for lack of a better word. And I'm sorry if, I'm speaking to people and it's, some people identify with this, and it's not a means for me to, just passively say this and not say that with any gravity. It's an incredibly unfortunate situation. It's a situation that millions of Americans are in. It's just a reality. I feel like I came from a poor background. Frankly speaking, my mom was a single mom. She had 4 kids, and worked her tail off to not make us to help us not feel poor. But the community we were in, it's called Little Village. Some people might know it. Was a community that if you were born there, you have a very, very low probability of getting out. There's a lot of parts like this in Chicago and across the country that, if you're dropped into some of these neighborhoods, they may as well be war zones. I mean, you can see it. You can see it. The homes are in rough shape, and there's no role models around, right? So there's this very complicated structure in society where there's a lot of people that are struggling. There's some middle class, and then there's the rich elite, right? It's a traditional argument in politics, and the media does pit poor people against the middle class a lot. That is a move of theirs. But I guess I just want to say that I want to make these videos as I'm walking back and forth here down the pier. I make these videos specifically speaking to the kids that are in those situations, to let you know that there is hope. And it's a hard road. It really is a hard road. Most people that are not in those situations will never understand, won't even start to understand how difficult it is. But there's a way out. You have to be creative. You have to, really try your best to align yourself with the best people, which is incredibly difficult. It's just to say that, in a middle class area, in a fairly okay area, it's very easy to say, align yourself with good people, with your good neighbors. So yeah, align yourself with the best people that you know, and find something you love doing, a passion, and just work hard at it. There's a way out. There's a way out. But it's not, I don't want to say that and seem like, sound callous at all. Because I can think of myself in those situations and hearing this video and being a little bit annoyed. Because even from the modest means that I come from, I don't understand the situations in other people's, areas and lifestyles that can be very, a lot worse, to be honest. Let alone, third world countries, in these troubled regions, in poor countries. I don't want to paint broad brushes, but I think you guys kind of, get the gist of what I'm pointing at. So that's kind of why I make these videos, is for inspiration and to speak to the youth that may happen to be in the situation I was in. So what do we need? What do we need? How do we bring this home? How do we make this a happy ending? I feel like U.S. citizens, humans all over the world, need to really be more empathetic. Be more caring. Try to give when you can. Try to help out where you can. There's few people that I know of that give back. The people that do are saints, absolute saints. So if you're somebody that's of good means, and you have time, and you feel safe, I think our communities there's a huge need for mentors. And it's interesting because I remember myself growing up in in that poor area and thinking back, I know I would think about this, right? I know people are doing good and people make it out of this mess. Why don't they come back? Why don't I see more mentors come back and do mentorship for the youth in my community? What's going on? Why they just abandon us? What's going on? Right? It's very powerful, very sad. And as an adult, I understand why. I understand that it's very unsafe. These areas are very unsafe. Just to be plainly honest and truthful. So, we need resources for communities. We need some type of structure where we can secure communities, where there's the possibility, where there's a safety aspect, and people can feel safe to go in and mentor. Have 20-somethings going in and mentoring teens, and well-off teens going in and mentoring adolescents, and so on. It's very powerful. I believe in mentorship. Mentorship has changed my life. I've had some of the best mentors. I didn't grow up with a real father. My stepfather's amazing, but as a kid, I didn't have a father. Mentorships as a young adult have changed my life. So I really believe in it, and I give back whenever I can. It's part of me making these videos as well. And I guess I just leave it at that. It's not an easy fix. It's not an easy fix, but that's my perspective on social justice. And what I see too often is people that have a voice, they ignore the issue. And the issue is we have millions of youth across America that are in trouble, and adults that need some help. Universal basic income, I also believe in that. So it's part of my mission as well. There's only so much time in the day, right? I dedicate a lot of it to architecture, but it's also my mission to be a good mentor and to try to support those communities as much as I can. And as I creatively, work to come up with the solutions, I encourage you guys to find, to also be creative and find a way that you can give back and be empathetic. And I guess that's kind of what I had. I know I've been very sparse on the architecture topic recently, but I will use this time to put up some images of the wonderful sites that me and the wife went to, took a look at. Alhambra was amazing, very beautiful, and I guess I'll just leave it at that. I mean, it's a little somber. I wish, my videos, I always like them to at least end on a way better note, but they end in a note that I'm uncertain. I'm optimistic about our future, but unfortunately, I live with kind of survivor's guilt of making it out of these communities and being financially stable. and knowing that there's still millions of people across the country that are in these situations. So that's the first time I've really kind of grazed on politics, and really it's probably as deep as I'll ever get on this channel. If you were annoyed by it, that's okay. It's understandable, because these are my views. But I think it's a pretty balanced view, and I think it's very reasonable. So I will leave you. I'm gonna do a little more shopping here with the wife, but I will leave you from Andalusia, Malaga, and I will speak to you guys very soon. Take care. Have a good one.